This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
What's up, family? Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league from the MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts, who's a proud sponsor of the Bossman Show on your radio. Folks, back on the Bossman Show, a friend of mine, a mentor of mine, a great guy, North Florida Ospreys head coach, Matt Driscoll, with the cool glasses today. I love him. The cool glasses coach has. How you doing, man?
JR, let me tell you something. If I don't have these on, I don't know exactly how you'd look right now. So these are computer glasses and readers.
Okay.
And so because of the computer, I can see clearly from like 24 inches roughly.
Yeah,
I
like them, coach.
Yeah, bottoms are readers, but yeah, give her the credit with the clear. So, like your hat matching up with your shirt, I'm sure your shoes match as well. The clear glasses kind of go with anything. So every day it looks great.
Coach, I kind of went stereotype. I went black hat, gray polo, black shorts, gray shoes.
I thought you were going to say red shoes, actually.
Nah, I was going gray, black today. So nah, I didn't do it today, Coach. But
you look like a referee. You look like a referee. So that's going to start now we're starting off on a bad place right now.
But you're my guy, Coach. I give you all the calls.
Well, there you go. Hey, don't let Lenny know that. Don't tell Lenny that. Keep Lenny out of that.
Yeah, he won't come on the show again ever again. If he found that out ever again.
That's funny.
Yeah, that Coach, man, I can't believe it.
We're not going to be talking about Wingstop too, by the way, because you know I love Wingstop. So we ain't talking about no other wing places, just Wingstop.
Coach, now what's your flavor? Barbecue, hickory?
No. There's only one way to eat a wing.
What's that?
Lemon pepper. There's only one.
Okay, lemon pepper. Okay, I'm with you there, Coach. I'm with you.
I tell you what, like it all day. I feel like I'm like Adrian Peterson all day.
You got that right.
All day.
Hey, I love lemon pepper barbecue, original hickory, Cajun as well. Dry rub.
You like hickory?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I'm not even sure I've ever had hickory.
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur, Coach, of all kind of wing flavors. But I do love lemon pepper and barbecue for sure.
Now, if Hattie B's knew what you were saying right now, they wouldn't be real happy. I just want to let you know that. Because Hattie B's, that's Nashville. That's real hot chicken right there.
Now, Coach, I have to take you to a place that's even
prices.
hotter.
Prices.
No, 400 degrees in Nashville, even hotter.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes from Tennessee State. I gotta take you over there when you come to town, play Lipscomb, and I'll take you over there. You got to love, you'll love it. Now I'll tell you, Coach, 100 degrees will make you sneeze.
Okay,
that's how hot it is.
Okay,
that's
fair. Hey, I need mine at 20 then, because I'm that's why I like lemon pepper. Like, I'm not real good. I can go mild, but like after that, I start sweating.
100%. Yeah, I keep mine to 100 degrees or less. I can't go higher than that because, like you said, I don't like hot food. I like it, but I can't deal with it too
so
well.
If they sell like 400 degree, do you have to sign a waiver or something?
Oh no, you just have a burnt mouth.
In case you don't die or something, you don't fall over and be done with it.
Yeah, and also another spot in Nashville, not very known, Prince's Hot Chicken.
Yeah, Prince. That's what I meant. I meant Prince's.
Yeah, Prince's. Yeah, that's another.
That's on the east side.
Yes. Yeah, so I go between 100 degrees up in Tennessee State and Prince's, and another one they have now called Pepper Fire Hot Chicken. And that's another place, and it's over there about West End area over there.
Well, that's where we always stay over there in the West End, and that's why we like Hattie B's, because number one, it's amazing food. Number two, as about as good of people as you could want to be around. I mean, they're just really, really good people, and it's a neat environment for our guys, and it's walkable. So we really, interesting side note, when you think about JR, college athletics or college athletes, and you think about what it's really like, and there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. There's things that people see on ESPN or ABC or CBS or whatever, but they rarely see the other stuff and the preparation and but the meal times, because of COVID, it really set teams back, because that's one of the biggest times that you get a chance to really build and forge and really have those guys esprit de corps and their synergy and everything they're about and where they come from. When you sit around food at a table, it just seems to make things really natural. And then next thing you know, the next meal, it's 2 or 3 other guys. And then the next meal, I remember, and I'm trying to remember, I think Drake dropped a new album. And then I think something happened at the White House or something. And then I think there was like a big boxing match. And I don't quite remember the order of it, but I do remember one of our players during this day, we didn't have a game. And at breakfast, when we went to lunch, and then at dinner, the whole gamut. He was talking, about Drake's album in the morning, and then he was with another person that night, and they were talking about something in politics. And then the next at dinner, he's talking about this big boxing match that was coming up. And you start to say to yourself, like, so now that I've officiated our 7th player, I think it's my 9th or 10th wedding, something like that, but our 7th player, and those guys are coming back. And now you kind of see, that bond, that brotherhood, that coming together, and then the things that transpired that you didn't know about, and the different stories that come out from it, and so I think those meals that we missed, I think that's something that that we're really, really happy and excited for, that they came back,
And Coach, I'm gonna say this for you and I.
I'm not leaving you. I got to grab something.
Are you fine, Coach? I'm gonna throw this out here, Coach. You're a guy from Pittsburgh. I'm a guy from Atlanta, and basketball brought us together and shows how much we have in common and how we have a synergy with each other. So just
both from football states, by the way.
Yeah. So let's think about that. This sports, this just talking to each other, coming together. We have so much in common. We have a great friendship, and you're somebody I trust immensely in my life, and I'm glad to have you in my life. I'm telling you that on the air, Coach. I really am. And this is how basketball is, how being genuine people brings you together and have synergy, and even your staff, all your staff. I love all your staff. They're great to me. So I just want to tell you, you have a great people around you, great person, and you are a genuine individual. I can't see a lot of people in this business, but you're definitely genuine. It's not about what I can do for you or get you a recruit. You truly care about me as a person, not what I can do for you, because I'm an individual that you care for.
I think that's something, JR. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say it, because I think that's where, when I've done these leadership talks for years, my second pillar of 5 was always people skills. And one of the things about those people skills is the fact that there has to be genuineness. And if you don't have that ability, it's really hard for you to lead or for to have people to follow. And when you think about what brings people together or what makes that transpire, well, like just the fact that your dad was a barber and know what goes on at barbershops and know how a lot of the world's problems get solved there, but nobody knows it. But like all the different things that go down and happen, and but also to learn how to communicate, learn how to have conversation, learn how to have debate, learning how to have differences, agree to disagree, whatever you want to call it. And so I like to hear those kind of things. I like to learn from those kind of things. And now, fast forward, when I speak, I really believe that we can be the difference daily. However, it's very difficult for young people, actually for anyone, but young people in particular. It's very difficult, especially like if we all have these different dots on a map, and however they come together, they come together. But if you don't embrace where your feet are physically planted, the transfer portal, whatever you want to look at, a relationship. If you don't embrace where your feet are planted with that relationship, if you're always looking for, well, I'm looking for the next best one, or I'm, whatever. And if you don't embrace where your feet are planted with your children, if you don't embrace it with your community, whatever that looks like. But then I say that word that I've always talked about with that second pillar, but you've got to have genuine purpose, and your purpose has got to be genuine. At the end of the day, we get hired and fired for winning and losing. Like, that's our profession. But that doesn't mean I have to be like a certain way, or if things aren't going, whatever it is. I mean, so to me, that's really important that we continue to teach our young people that. And I think maybe not, and maybe you speak on this. I mean, there's probably a lot of that you learned from being in your dad's barbershop.
Correct. I learned people, different backgrounds, different perspectives. That's why I'm able to interact with anybody, because my dad could. My dad had an innate skill besides when he was coaching football and basketball, whatever, when I was just cutting hair, he could connect with people. And I feel like I had that same gift that no matter where I go, I can connect to anybody there. Like I was a coach. I was at the tennis tournament for 10 days. And I became friends with security guards or people who work in the restaurants or the volunteers, because I don't care what your role is. I was looking at you as a person, not what you do. And as I define you to me, I look at you, what's in your heart and what your vibe is and what you're about. And
it doesn't mean you have to spend 3 hours. It's the genuineness. And then you walk by them 10 times, and by the 5th time, 6th time, 7th time, whatever it is. And now you're starting to, the relationships, whatever. And that to me is exactly what it is, whether it be the maintenance guy, like this morning, we had our last gathering, the physical activity around campus. And as I was waiting for the guys, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 8, I don't even know how many it was, because it was in the morning. It was about 7, I guess it was about 7:30. And like, I've been here 14 years, and a lot more then than I do now. I don't run on campus as much as I used to, just because of we do different time. The timing is just different. And but all those people you would run by and say hello to and yada yada yada. And now like the lady that went to Michigan and loves Michigan football, like every time I see her, I never say hello to her. You know what I say to her?
Go Blue.
Yeah, that's what I say to her. And like the guy that, you know, finally Georgia won, and he has a dog's, you know, flag on his golf cart, you know, that he drives every day, you know, and he drove by me today, and I yell, you go dog, hey goes, you know, how you doing? And like, you know, so those are the kind of things I think can help our communities. I think they can help our, you know, when I say community, you know, the biggest bang for your buck is in the middle where bullseye. If you throw darts, that's where you get the most points. Well, the campus, that's our biggest bang for our buck. And you better have a situation where the campus is understands who you are as well too. I mean, there's a guy retiring I just ran into and was just messing around with, and for like 4 seconds, and he came at me real fast. There was a lot. I said, "Yeah, you trying to go airborne, or what are you doing?" Now, coach, I ain't trying to do that. You know, my time's ticking out. I said, I know you're retiring. You tell me every time you see me now, you trying to rub it. But I mean, that's the kind of thing, JR, when you're going to that tennis tournament, those are the kind of things that, you know, people need that. And that little bit could be the difference in that person's day. And they might just have it. You know, this might just be having a really, really bad day. And all of a sudden they're like, you know what? That young man, he was a great smile he had. You know, he's really nice to me. You know, so I think it's important.
Sure. And I credit my mom and dad for that. You know, I know my mom was a Lipscomb grad. I know it's not I know that's something that Lenny would love. That she's a Lipscomb grad.
Hey, one of our players' dad was a great player. Scored like 1,300 points at Lipscomb. That's okay.
Yeah, you know, right. but I think, you know, I really learned people skills from my father. He taught me that, and I feel like that's what I'm doing today with this radio show. I guess act with people because I'm genuine. I have no agenda. It's just about having real conversation.
Let me ask you this question: did he ever try to show you how to cut hair?
Yes, it went very badly.
Well, at least you knew what you were really not good at.
Yes. Hey, I told him I can't coach and cut hair, but I can talk about all those things. He said, "Yeah, he used to be a talker then, son. You don't try this."
You can't see him, but up there on the bottom right is my junior college team. And number 20, Bobby Farrington, was my roommate. And so he's like, hey, Driscoll, you know, just because we're, you know, trying to save money back in the 80s. Hey, do me a favor. Oh, yeah, I can do that. That's no problem. Yeah, no problem. And, you know, it starts with the fade, and then, you know, you don't get it right, and then it ends up here, and then you don't remember back in the day, this is in the 80s, and then you got it up here, and then you ended up getting it like almost like this much round hair, and then, you know, and eventually, you know, he's like, hey, man, just take it all off, you know, just get rid of it. So I learned as well as a college teammate that wasn't my avenue either. We have a kid on the team. We actually bought a barber chair. We have a barber chair in the locker room. He actually cuts some of our guys' hair. He actually has a gold, what do you call it? Not razor, but what do they call it?
The clipper.
Clipper. He's got a gold clipper.
Nice.
So
yeah, coach, you're gonna love this story, coach. Mr. Rodney, a guy known in the neighborhood who's 87 years old, still cuts hair on the west side of Atlanta.
First of all, I'd ask him to put his hand out to see how much it shakes at 87.
Yes, Mr. Rodney still cutting hair. Man,
of course, when you got stuff like this, it don't matter.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go to Great Clips and get the best deals and whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to retire, JR. I love it too much. I said, Mr. Rodney, you've been doing this way before I was born, man.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah. And like, just like my father, he marched with Dr. King back in the day. He saw how Atlanta used to be. So he's an elder who tells us all kinds of stories about how the old Atlanta was. I love talking to that gentleman because he has a wealth of knowledge always for us.
Does he foresee as well? Meaning, like, so he was telling those stories in the 70s, and he was telling the stories in the 80s, and he was telling them in the 90s and 2000s. And like, I wonder if some of the things he was saying that are going to transpire or should transpire, or we've got to change this, or this is, I wonder, like, how he's told the stories, how much they've changed, or how much foresight he has, not forecasting, but you know what I'm saying? I wonder, of course you don't know unless you can think back, 20, 30 years when you were, talking with him. I wonder if he would understand that or know that, or how much he's actually kind of been right as far as how Atlanta's progressed.
Yeah, like he told me a time, Coach. Now you know where Irina is off Northside Drive in the Gulch. The time that him and my father said they couldn't cross that tracks after dark, they would get beat up.
Yeah.
So he like Mr. Rodney was my father was like, we didn't think we'll have integration. We was getting beat up to cross the tracks. So for them and the older generation, in that generation, some of them have problems with people coming together still. And I don't lie to you, Coach.
No. I 100%.
Yes, but Mr. Wiley's not like that, but some of them are. But he's like, I feel like he's always said that he felt like, the people in their age bracket, if they didn't raise their kids to be a certain way, we would all be better for it. Because he's right. There are some people who are grandparents like they are who have those beliefs on the other side of the fence and ledger. So he always told us to be true and treat everybody with respect no matter what. And he said the political things in this country will happen. He said, unfortunately for us, we was already behind the 8 balls. We're trying to play catch up always. And that's what's part of the issues here. And he said you have to have people with genuine hearts who want to accept and open the path to others so we all can succeed together. So I remember talking about that all the time. It's like we want to come together as one, not as adversaries. He always tells it as children, and my father did as well.
Did a interview on, I think it was Monday, and we kind of talked a little bit about this. And it was a leadership interview, and I'm not one of those guys that believes that leaders are born. I believe that you're developed and you have certain traits and tools, and then there's all kind of different ways to lead and be a leader. But on the flip side, just like racists aren't born. Like, it's not like you're born racist. Like you come in and it's all taught. It's taught. It's a taught thing.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story, Coach. At tennis tournament, I'll tell you a quick story. There was a black player playing. A little young white girl was cheering for the black player. Told her daddy, "He's an American." No, honey, you cheer for the white guy. You don't cheer for the black guy. At the tennis tournament, I witnessed that, and the girl was about between 5 and 6 years old, but she was cheering for him because he was an American.
Correct.
And the dad said, "No, you cheer for the white guy. Nah, you don't cheer for him." He never said why, but I could pick up why he said it. But the young girl had no clue. Now that happened at the tennis tournament. I was just at the last 10 days. It hurt my soul, Coach, to see that.
100%. 2022. I mean, yeah, that's. I'm not.
The young girl was so innocent. She was just cheering for an American. She didn't care that he was black. He was an American. No, you cheer for him.
And what a great opportunity for him to, to take that moment and really help her, to understand. Yeah, that's disappointing. And that goes back to the last part of embracing where your feet are planted with a genuine purpose, treating others the way you want to be treated, not the way they treat you.
Yes.
That's where it gets difficult, because you want to treat everybody the way you want to be treated. You want to treat everybody the way you want to be treated, but not the way they, like, if they don't treat you, like, you can't whatever. You got to understand, and you got to really, really understand, like, No, I'm going to keep treating people the way I want to be treated, even though they're not reciprocating, whatever the word is.
Yes, reciprocate. Yeah, and you
And
know
you
what?
can move on though, but you don't have to. You can leave. You can walk away. You can. There's a lot of things you can do. And I can't imagine because I have no clue. I have no insight. I never would say that I do. I don't know what it's like to live in your shoes, and I don't have that. There's no way anybody can.
I will tell you, Coach, when stuff happens to me, I just chalk it up to that they're ignorant. They don't know any better.
Or unintelligent, yeah.
And I know that I'm a decent human being, and I mean well. If you can't see that when you meet me, that's on you, because God made me to love people and be a beacon for hope for people and to help people. And if you can't see that, or if you judge me with the color of my skin, that shows me who you really are. And
and that word, that 4-letter word, when you talk about love, it's got so many layers to it. And I think, that's obviously because it comes from your heart. And in my opinion, your heart controls your mind. And so, you squeeze a lemon, you get lemon juice. You squeeze a lime, you get lime juice. And so when you squeeze people, you get who they truly are. We just have to continue to, just to do the best we can.
And Coach, my father always took this, Coach, JR, do the next right thing. I always used to tell me that, Coach, do the next right thing. So that's how I live my life, Coach, doing the next right thing by everybody. Don't reciprocate evil with evil. Be better than that and do the next right thing. So I'm thankful he gave me that grounding and background to be able to be that way.
Hold on, JR. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can now, Coach.
Hold on. I had to unplug it.
Gotcha.
I can't turn it around.
You're fine.
What did he tell you?
No, to do the next right thing.
No, look, what did he tell you?
The next right thing. There it is. There it is. The next right thing. And you're right there. Hey, on point.
That's been our motto since day one. Just it's really, really important. And it's important in a lot of things. It's important in athletics, obviously. We were just talking about that last night with Jonathan, and he's a great player and had a great, he's because of the way he was brought up and because of his heritage, he's very, very, very difficult. He's very tough on himself, and he's too tough on himself. And I was like, Jonathan, like when you were a freshman, like, okay, there's a lot of things you had to learn. You had to learn quickly. You were thrown into the fire, yada, yada, yada. Like that's life. I said, however, if you compare that to now, your third year, how many times do you think I raised my voice during practice, 17 practices at you this summer? He said, never, not once. And I said, so Jonathan, like you've put it in, you get all like, and why you have to understand, like, you can't beat yourself up. You make an error, and you know what it is, Jonathan. He's like, I know, next right thing, coach. I know, next right thing. Coach Drew used to say it this way. Coach Drew at Baylor used to say, don't let one thing lead to it. I used to say it. Don't let one thing lead to two. That's how he used to say it. So I think that's great that you kind of have that in the back of your brain. And I think it's critical. I think it's critical, and it doesn't mean short-term memory. It just means like the world ain't stopping.
No doubt.
Like, injury, illness, attrition, like Gonzaga doesn't care. Like November 7th, they're playing us. Like, you know what I mean? So like, and like last year is a good example, JR. People don't know this. And again, when you deal with reality, So like now's perception. You guys, the media, you come out with your preseason magazines, your preseason prognostication, whatever that's called, your preseason stuff, right? And then when if people are like you do your due diligence, you talk to people that are in the league. Some people, they look on the internet and they say, oh, they got this, and this. This guy's from, this high major. He's from this high major. Well, they're going to be pretty good. Whatever. It's all perception. Reality is March. And when you look at our group from last year, this is what super. So the A-Sun, in my opinion, now has 14 teams. I believe there are 7 to 8 that can for sure win the tournament. If it's a 3-game, if you're one of the top, it'll be a 3-game. If you're 7, 8, 9, 10, so that in that case, it'll end up being 4 games. But if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it'll be 3 games. And I think there's 7 to 8 teams that can win the tournament. Now, winning the regular season, we've done it 3 times in the last 8 years, last time in 2020. Winning the regular season has a little bit more to it because it's 18 games and yada, yada, yada. But for us, for instance, last year, we start with COVID and then it doesn't, we get set back. Our first game on the road at Gulf Coast, we had 7 guys. And then we get guys back. And now we go 1-7 the first 8 games of the league. We lose 5 games, either in the last possession or the last minute, whatever it was. It was, buzzer beaters and misses and free throw, whatever. It's 5 of them. And 2 of our leading scorers got concussions in that time. And we're telling our guys, like, here's what we got to do. Here's what and then we flip it. And then the second half of the season, we go 6-2. So now we're the only team in the league in the regular season to beat Jacksonville State and Liberty, the 2 teams that won both of their sides. And so 6-2, and we lose a flagrant one they didn't call on a play at home that we probably would have been 7-1. And our 2 leading scorers that got concussions in the first 1-7, JR, when we flipped it to 6-2, the last 4 weeks of the season, one had a broken finger and one had a torn ligament in his elbow.
Wow.
They didn't play, but we still went 6-2. So now you're hot and now you're like, okay. And so my point to you is that's why the tournament is so dangerous. And that's why I say, I think there's 7 to 8 that can win the tournament. Because if you're feeling yourself and you might have to go on the road because our tournament, our league is the best league in America in the sense that the higher seeds get the home seed all the way through. So it makes it hard. But you know what? The highest seed that did their deal during the regular season, they deserve. They've earned. I like earned better. They've earned that stuff. And so they've earned that home court advantage. And then to get the opportunity, of course, ESPN and yada, yada, yada. So I really, really like when you think about where we are and all those things, that next right thing comes into play way more than people think.
No doubt. Well, Coach Driscoll, you're my first interview since I got back from surgery. So I feel great.
What an honor.
You're my first interview back since I got back from surgery. I always love our chats, Coach, and I feel good. I feel like it feels normal to me again to be doing the interview. So I'm thankful for being my first one of the year, man.
I'm sure this is very similar to our last one, by the way, because you always have that great smile and you always have that great energy. But I will tell you this, though. When COVID came, the NABC did this huge video deal, and they had all these coaches on. And they asked me, and I actually volunteered because I know the guy pretty well. and said, if you want me to be your test pilot, I'll be your test pilot. And I can help you get through all the nuances of what Zoom was and all. So they're like, man, would you do that? Go, yeah, I would do that. So I was the test pilot, the first one. And then right after me was Calipari and Tony Bennett and, all these great. And then they said, Coach, we want to throw you a little bone. We want to let you be the last one, too. You'll be the only one that does it twice, and you're going to close us off as well at the end of this. I think it was like 2 months or 3 months. I said, man, that's awesome. And they said, it's even better because you're going to close and you're going to follow Greg Popovich. And I'm like, that's what I said. I said, wow. So the first one, we probably get, 800, 900,000. I don't even know. It was a lot of people. And we worked through all the nuances and, sharing your screen and, all those things that are, that are whatever. Now they're nothing. Close your eyes, right? So now we get to the end. So if you do this to me, then I know you truly love me. So we get to the end and I'm going to follow Greg Popovich. So I jump on 15 minutes early, of course. And I'm pretty sure there was like 2,000 people on watching Greg Popovich. And it was a Friday, and I went at 5:00. I remember it's like it was yesterday. So I'm thinking, man, 2,000 people, even if half of them get off, I'm going to have an audience of 1,000 coaches across the world that are going to learn about the University of North Florida, all that stuff. 87 coaches stayed on.
Wow, Coach. Hey.
Like and I was thinking,
late night comedy show almost.
I was thinking, man, this is awesome. I'm going to help them out, and then they're going to help us out on the back end. I'm going to follow Greg Popovich. Yeah, well, guess what? I was the only one that followed. Everybody else followed him off the screen when he got off. Everybody else got off. So there's a good leader, I guess.
Hey, well, Coach, I'm always happy back on the show, Coach. I love you, man, in real life. And so not just business with me, you're a true friend, a mentor of mine. So thank you so much, Coach. I look forward to seeing you when I'm going to come to my house in Nashville and see you all play against Austin P and listen for sure. We're going to get some hot chicken as well, Coach.
See you in February.
All right, Coach. I look forward to it, buddy.
Thank you, baby. Have a great weekend.
Anytime, Coach. What's up, family? Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league from the MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts, who's a proud sponsor of the Bossman Show on your radio.